Here is a country in Africa unlike almost any other place on Earth. A land of ancient kingdoms, massive mountains, rock churches carved into stone, and one of the oldest civilizations in human history. A country connected to legends, empires, religion, trade, and resistance. This is Ethiopia, one of the most historically important nations on the African continent. For thousands of years, Ethiopia stood at the crossroads of Africa and the Middle East. Empires rose here. Religions spread here. Trade routes crossed these mountains and valleys for centuries. And while many ancient civilizations disappeared with time, Ethiopia survived. Today, when many people outside Africa hear the word Ethiopia, they often think about drought, poverty, or conflict shown in international media. But that image tells only a small part of the story. Because Ethiopia is also home to ancient architecture, breathtaking landscapes, unique cultures, and one of the strongest historical identities in Africa. It is a country that resisted colonization, protected its civilization, and preserved traditions stretching back thousands of years. But Ethiopia is also a country of contradictions, ancient traditions beside modern skyscrapers, extreme poverty beside rapid development, political tensions beside dreams of economic growth. So how did Ethiopia become one of the world's oldest surviving civilizations? Why does its history matter so much? And what could its future look like? Today, we are exploring the history, beauty, struggles, culture, and future of Ethiopia. Welcome to one of the most fascinating countries on Earth. Ethiopia is often called the cradle of humanity, and there's a reason for that. Some of the oldest human ancestors ever discovered were found here. One of the most famous discoveries was Lucy, an ancient human ancestor discovered in Ethiopia in 1974. Scientists estimated that Lucy lived more than 3 million years ago. The discovery shocked the scientific world, because it helped researchers better understand early human evolution. In many ways, Ethiopia is connected directly to the origins of humanity itself. But the country's importance goes far beyond ancient fossils. Long before modern borders existed, powerful civilizations developed across this region. The geography of Ethiopia played an important role. Massive mountains protected communities from invasions, cooler highland climates allowed agriculture to grow, and trade routes connected the region to Arabia, Egypt, and beyond. Over time, kingdoms emerged across the Ethiopian highlands. And unlike many regions repeatedly conquered by foreign empires, Ethiopia managed to preserve much of its identity for centuries. Even today, many Ethiopians feel deeply connected to their ancient history. Because in Ethiopia, the past never completely disappeared. It still exists in the language, religion, architecture, and traditions of everyday life. One of the most powerful civilizations in ancient African history was the Kingdom of Aksum. Located in northern Ethiopia and Eritrea, Aksum became one of the great powers of the ancient world. At its peak, the kingdom controlled major trade routes connecting Africa, Arabia, India, and parts of the Mediterranean world. Merchants transported gold, ivory, spices, salt, and valuable goods through the region. Aksum grew wealthy from trade, and over time, it developed into a sophisticated empire with advanced architecture, writing systems, and strong political organization. Massive stone obelisks were constructed across the kingdom. Some stood taller than many modern buildings. Even today, these ancient structures remain among Africa's greatest archaeological achievements. Historians sometimes compare Aksum to ancient Rome or Persia because of its influence during that period. The kingdom also played a major religious role. Ethiopia became one of the earliest Christian nations in the world during the 4th century. Christianity spread deeply through Ethiopian society and remained central to the country's identity for centuries. Ancient monasteries and churches still exist today across remote mountains and villages. Some religious traditions survived almost unchanged for hundreds of years. This long spiritual history makes Ethiopia unique, not only in Africa, but globally. Perhaps no place represents Ethiopia's ancient religious history more than Lalibela. Located in the mountains of northern Ethiopia, Lalibela became famous for its extraordinary rock-hewn churches. Unlike normal buildings constructed from stone blocks, these churches were carved directly into the ground. Workers removed massive amounts of rock by hand to create entire structures hidden beneath the earth. Even today, historians and engineers remain amazed by how these churches were built centuries ago. Some legends say angels helped complete the construction. The churches became one of the most important pilgrimage sites in Ethiopian Christianity. During religious festivals, thousands of worshippers dressed in white gather around the ancient buildings. Candles light the darkness, while prayers echo through narrow stone passages. For many visitors, Lalibela feels less like a tourist site and more like stepping into another world entirely. And it remains one of Africa's most extraordinary historical treasures. One reason Ethiopia became famous around the world was because it resisted European colonization during the scramble for Africa. During the late 19th century, European empires rapidly expanded across Africa. Britain, France, Belgium, Germany, Italy. Large parts of the continent fell under colonial control, but Ethiopia fought back. One of the most important moments came in 1896, during the Battle of Adwa. Italian forces attempted to invade Ethiopia, but Ethiopian armies united under Emperor Menelik II and defeated the invasion. The victory shocked Europe. At a time when colonial powers believed African resistance could easily be crushed, Ethiopia proved otherwise. News of the victory spread globally. And for many Africans and members of the African diaspora, Ethiopia became a symbol of resistance and independence. Even today, the Battle of Adwa remains one of the most important events in African history. Years later, Italy invaded Ethiopia again under Benito Mussolini during the rise of fascism. The invasion brought brutal violence and international controversy, but Ethiopian resistance continued. Eventually, Ethiopia regained independence once again. This long history of resistance became deeply connected to Ethiopian identity. Many Ethiopians see their country not only as ancient, but as a civilization that survived enormous external pressure. Ethiopia is one of the most culturally diverse countries in Africa. More than 80 ethnic groups live across the country, each with unique traditions, languages, music, and clothing. The country's cultural diversity developed over centuries across mountains, valleys, deserts, and trade routes. Traditional Ethiopian music sounds very different from Western music because it uses unique scales and rhythms. Dance styles also vary between regions. Food is another important part of Ethiopian identity. One of the most famous dishes is injera, a soft sour flatbread served with stews, vegetables, and spices. Meals are often shared together from one large plate. This reflects the importance of family and community in Ethiopian culture. Coffee also has deep roots in Ethiopia. Many historians believe coffee originally came from this region. Traditional coffee ceremonies remain an important social tradition today. The process can take a long time. Beans are roasted slowly. The smell fills the room. Coffee is poured carefully while people sit together talking and relaxing. For many visitors, this becomes one of the most memorable parts of Ethiopian culture. Hospitality is also deeply respected. Guests are often treated with great generosity, even in communities with limited resources. Many people outside Africa are surprised when they see Ethiopia's landscapes for the first time, because much of the country looks completely different from the stereotypes they expect. The Ethiopian highlands contain massive mountains, green valleys, waterfalls, and dramatic cliffs. Some regions feel more similar to alpine environments than deserts. Places like the Simien Mountains became famous for breathtaking scenery and rare wildlife. Gelada monkeys live across the highlands while giant cliffs stretch into the distance. Meanwhile, other parts of Ethiopia look almost alien. The Danakil Depression is one of the hottest places on Earth. Volcanoes, salt flats, and colorful sulfur springs create landscapes that seem almost unreal. This incredible geographic diversity makes Ethiopia one of Africa's most visually unique countries. Modern Ethiopia is changing rapidly. The capital city, Addis Ababa, continues expanding with new roads, railways, businesses, and skyscrapers. The city also hosts the headquarters of the African Union. Because of this, Addis Ababa is often called the political capital of Africa. At the same time, Ethiopia still faces serious challenges: poverty, inflation, political tensions, ethnic conflicts, and unemployment continue affecting millions of people. Recent conflicts brought international concern and humanitarian crises. These struggles revealed how difficult modernization and political unity can be inside such a large and diverse country. But despite the challenges, Ethiopia continues moving forward. Millions of young Ethiopians hope for economic growth, stability, and opportunity in the future, and many believe the country still has enormous, untapped potential. Ethiopia is far more than the stereotypes many people see online. It is one of the oldest civilizations on Earth, a country of ancient kingdoms, dramatic landscapes, deep traditions, and incredible resilience. Its story is connected not only to Africa, but to human history itself. And despite wars, invasions, political struggles, and enormous challenges, Ethiopia endured for thousands of years. So, could Ethiopia become one of Africa's great success stories in the future? And what surprised you most about its history and culture? Let us know in the comments. And subscribe to Earthopia for more global documentaries, history, cultures, and incredible places around the world.